Hi, I'm Professor Troy Levada, and the legacy I teach is called Legacy of Exploration, Explorers of Mountains. And this is a class about trying to understand cultural landscapes and what people think and do in mountains.
Hi, I'm Richard Obanoff. I teach Legacy of Success. One thing I love about this class is seeing the long legacies in culture and literature. For example, we'll read a morality play from the Middle Ages that's obscene, it's lewd, it's hilarious, and it helps explain some of the weird things going on in politics today.
Hi, I'm Chris Holden. This fall I'll be teaching Legacy of the Video Game. It's a course about what's actually a relatively new art form, but I hope by looking at some important works, by playing some hopefully fun games, we can not only see a little bit about how they tick, but also get a sense of how other things in the world might work based on how video games work. I look forward to meeting you and about finding out how games have shaped your lives.
Hi, my name is Tomek Falkowski. I am the instructor for Legacy of Wilderness, and in this class we're going to be interrogating what the wilderness is and how we can relate to nature in a way that promotes the health of both human and ecological communities.
Hi, I'm Amy Farnbach-Pearson. I'll be teaching Legacy of Vaccines. Preventing disease using a piece of the pathogen itself has been around for at least 500 years since inoculations in Asia and Africa. And opposition to doing that has been around for almost as long. The story why is a wild ride all the way from smallpox to COVID, and I hope I'll see you next semester.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bethany Jorgensen. Come join me this fall in the Legacy of Plastics, where we will use systems thinking to understand the plastic situation in our world today, how we got here, and where we want to go in the future. Join us taking action through the course project to address plastic pollution right here at UNM.
Hi, I'm Leslie Donovan. I'm teaching Legacy of Peace. This class is about the various Nobel Peace Prize winners who have won the award for the last 100+ years. Our class is part of a program sponsored by the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, and we hope to have a speaker or two from the Nobel Peace Prize itself.
Hi everybody, I'm Maria Saz, and I'll be teaching the Legacy of Drama in the fall. As one of my students said, the Legacy of Drama is the perfect class for theater kids and history buffs alike to learn about theater and plays ranging from 400 BCE to 2022. Everybody's guaranteed to learn something new, have fun, and discover new plays from this class. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Fabian. I teach the Legacy of Gender Rebellion. And among other subjects, we're going to be talking about drag, women warriors, and nurturing men. So I hope to see some of you there next fall.
Hey nerds, yes, this is for you. I'm Dr. Megan Abramson, and I'll be teaching the Legacy of Fantasy this fall. In it, we'll be reading, watching, and listening to a lot of familiar fantasy, as well as some you've hopefully never heard before. All this to answer the question, how do we define fantasy? Is it speculative fiction? Is it science fiction? Does horror count? And how does belief factor into it? Find out this fall in the Legacy of Fantasy.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Kotler, and I teach the Legacy of Horror. We're going to read all kinds of scary things. I'm a huge chicken, so please enjoy torturing me with all the movies that you're going to get to pick that tell me what horror means to you. Looking forward to seeing you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sarita Kargas, and I teach the Legacy of Human Rights course. This course will introduce you to the international human rights system, teach you how it affects New Mexico college students as well. And it's based on active learning principles, which means no lectures.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariah Gomez, and I am the faculty member who teaches the class Legacy of Aztlan. I hope to see you all in there this semester. One really cool thing about this class is that we take a trip to the National Hispanic Cultural Center in Barelas here in Albuquerque, and it corresponds with a text that we read in the class called Heart of Aztlan, and we get to see a mural. It's actually a fresco, and so we learn a little bit about the process of fresco, and we get to analyze this really cool piece of art that talks about a 500+ year history of Hispanic, Chicanx, Mexicano, Nuevo Mexicano people.
My name is Yolanda Teran. I am from the Quichua Nation of Ecuador, South America. During this fall semester, I will be teaching the course on legacy of indigenous food systems. During this course, what we are going to do is, of course, to understand who are the indigenous peoples and their legacy. Also, one of the important facts is to make the link between the indigenous food systems and also with policies, with food security, and different things. And also, what we will do is to visit some places like restaurants or organizations that are working with indigenous food systems here in Albuquerque.